Fempreneur Friday is a conscious entrepreneurship community and a safe space where consciousness meets cool in divine feminine celebration and where we align over hustle.
Think about it as your own delicious happy hour for the week. It is a live, raw, and real community conversation with us, your girlfriends.
I'm Brett Sims, an entrepreneur, artist, and the founder of the global art nonprofit Stuck Designs.
And me, Stacey Wigiseria. I'm a mom, author, esthetician, self-love coach, and founder of Exalted Home and Pain. We are here to elevate in the community and connect with you all. If you're ready to take your spirituality and business to the next level, join us.
Happy Fempreneur Friday, everybody! Another Friday!
Hello! We're back. We're back. And it does feel that way.
Yes.
I think even just the energy, I know my own energy, the last couple of, Brett's like, yeah.
Well, me too.
The
past couple of weeks, it's just, the energy has been very intense. We've been through an intense Scorpio season, an intense eclipse season. Today is a full moon in Gemini, but I'm here. My Gemini self and all. But I think it's just been really intense. It's been heavy. The energy of the collective has been very heavy. People have been heavy. So I think that we needed a little breather. And we made an adjustment. We're now doing episodes every other Friday. And so that's just to give us a little bit more space, but allow you guys to have a bit more time to catch up with us each week.
Yeah, I think, what's cool is that we've been really being intentional about our own alignment and what we're holding, what feels good. I guess that was our whole pre-conversation before we got on recording, was really just talking about what feels good and how to get back in play and how to really just infuse those back into our lives, because this is our lives.
Right.
Like those moments, especially where I always talk about where we want to speed through like a season.
Yes.
And, even when we are looking to speed through a season, or when we're having a difficult time, or when things just feel we say like in our masculine energy or in our doing, how can we bring play to that? And that was actually that's already blown my mind. That really, I can take that conversation that we already were starting to have into my life. Just like, oh, wow, how can I bring more play to the serious things that we have going on?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, we'll start there. But
yeah, because we all have to do these mundane things like chores, like laundry, which I have a bunch sitting that I need to do later. It's laundry, there's bills, there's tax, whatever it is, it's just all of these things to do. The to-do list never ends, whether you're a solopreneur or a mompreneur, whatever it is, right? We're always gonna have to do paperwork. We're always gonna have to do tedious little tasks, right? But I think these things don't have to be so bad or tedious or dreadful when they're things obviously that we're doing because we love them, because entrepreneurs, I would hope you wouldn't choose to do something that you didn't truly love, but then it's you got to remind yourself of that love every day, which is really hard, and it's hard to remind yourself of the why this thing is so important to you, or why this thing was so fun that you decided to do it in the first place. But it's if you can kind of return back to that energy, within the day within your everyday workflow, I think that there can be so much more magic and lightness and airiness added into your life that we forget with all of the financial heaviness of the media, with recession talk, with this and that, and and then there's that quote God is never in a recession, spirituality is never in a recession, we are never really in lack when we truly know source, when we truly know we are divine, when we are truly in our divine feminine power. But we talked about in the last episode, just coming out of that worldly view, coming out of the world and into your own soul and into the flow and alignment of your own soul, the light and airiness that truly is, the nature, the free nature that it truly is. Like, it's a shift. It's hard right now when everything is kind of trying to, like, distract us from the truth of the lightness of our being, the truth of the free
Mhm.
essence of our being.
Oh, okay, that's so good. And that why I say that is because like what can be distracting, right? Like how could it feel? And I'll just speak from my side of like when you're totally just actually not feeling that way. Like, man, I feel the heaviness of finances. I feel the heaviness of family. I feel that especially in this season, like we are it's the holiday season, it's December, and,
Right. Oh, that's so true. Yes.
there's so many things that come up around that time, right? It's a reflection of family. Do I have family? Like, who cares about me? Who loves me? Do I have the romance that I want? Like, all of those things really come to surface. And the end of the year, the new year starting, have I completed everything I wanted to do this year? All of those conversations tend to come up around this end of season. And that's why we're talking about seasons. We're talking about seasons today. Like me and Brett was having a conversation, and I think it just kind of um, came to surface also because we're in different seasons of our lives as well, So not only me and her, but then when you're reflecting or looking at other people, we were talking about scrolling on
We
Instagram and
all are.
seeing
Yeah.
other people in different seasons of their lives. Some people could be in their harvest. Some people are in their winter. Some people are, in their spring, even though it doesn't matter also what season we're actually in. There's that season, right? That's on the outside, but there's some seasons that are on the inside, like where we are in our career, where we are in our relationships, where we are so on. It can be like literally in different seasons. And I saw this podcast the other day that I was sharing with Brett of two friends that they have a podcast to get together. And I think what was happening was because it was like a little clip of them talking. But what was happening was one friend had just gotten engaged, and she was really really excited about her new engagement and love and so on. And the other one had just recently is processing through a divorce,
Oh,
and
shit.
they were like, "Whoa!" In two complete different seasons of their lives. And
Mhm.
she was saying, "You know what? I think I can't be around you right now." That's what they were
Oh,
saying in
shit.
their podcast.
Oh,
And I was like,
shit.
"Whoa!" It gave me chills, and I was like, "Oh wow." But the great thing is that the other friend, being a freaking best friend, amazing, she was like, I get that this season is hurtful, but like kind of like we're still gonna do this together. And I was like, oh my God, I love this. Because the truth is, like, sometimes you're just in different seasons than your friends, the people around you, and that's okay. Sometimes you do need to take space. You need to take your space. You need to take care of yourself, of course. But the other part is like it can be like so open that you can have your season, I can have my season, and we can still love each other exactly where we're at. So I
Mhm.
thought that was so cool when you're seeing that as a reflection of a friend. But then I also thought that as some grace for yourself.
Mhm.
Um, Whoa, I'm just on this little roll. Um, but then that just reflected to me back, and I was like, oh, this is how I feel with Brett, because like sometimes even just hear what's happening or what's going on. Um, we've always had we've had conversations since we were in college, and we have been going through different things. Maybe sometimes I'm going through a situation first, and then she's going through that situation, and I'm telling her how it is, and so on. And I think there has been just like a flow of different grace during different times. So that really reminded me and reflected back to our own friendship, and then also back to myself with like, oh wow, how can I give my own self grace of the season that I'm in right now? Acceptance, love, and then welcoming that from other people, even if they're not in the same season that I'm in.
Mhm.
So that is some of the context or background to what we're trying
Yeah.
to.
And it's interesting because, like, in my mind, I don't know, I don't really view it that way. Like, I don't excuse me. I don't really view it like we're in different seasons, but when you did say seasons, I realized, like, when you can think about, like, life in within the perspective or within the realm of seasons, I think it's so much easier to, like,
Yes.
be able to go with the flow. Yeah, to be able to process, to, like, to move through. And I think that is very valid. And I was also thinking about something that Eckhart Tolle says in, I don't know if it was New Earth or Power of Now. one and the same. And basically, he talks a lot about seasons as well. And just like, we all have seasons of loss or winning seasons or losing seasons, or he calls them like downward and upward like cycles, though. Like we all have different cycles that we're going through. And sometimes you might be on an up cycle, sometimes you might be on a down cycle, like life is always, though, going to be up and down. It's always going to be transitory, and things are always changing. Like life is always changed. Life is change. And once we can like really accept that fact, then we can like move more fluidly through things. Like there's this one quote that's man was made for joy, and woe, and when this he rightly knows, through the world he safely goes. It's kind of just knowing that there is flux in the world, and that's just a part of life. And when you can look at it in the terms of seasons, like, I mean, yeah, obviously seasons come, these seasons go, things change, things grow, leaves fall, snow melts. And I think that when we have that perspective shift, it can take us out of that, hardcore masculine get, do flow, because then we can be pulled back into our divine feminine more, breathe, be reminded of nature, because that also brings to my nature seasons, and be reminded about the flow of nature, because there's also that quote that's like, adopt the secret of nature. Her secret is patience. Her secret is just like embracing that patience. And I think that the more you're just like aware and self-aware, um, it becomes easier to move through. I say easier, but it's still definitely like a tough process moving through any season, especially if you're in a season of loss. And I feel like, though, that I definitely, well, in these past like 2 years, and it's even hard to like gauge since due to the pandemic, I feel like, but I feel like my life is always kind of like has highs and has lows. I feel like as a Gemini, that's a sign of like light and darkness and kind of merging the both. So my life has always had, a mixture of highs and lows and both. And because of that, though, I don't know, I just feel like I'm able to find a balance in that, or find peace in that, or find that peace that passes all understanding within that, because I've been through so many like unexplainable external circumstances that just happen in life, that don't really have to do with like, the value of my internal soul, that I just have to have been like, seasons. Seasons just happen, life changes, things fall through, then things happen again, deals fall through sometimes, new opportunities come in. It's a cycle, and things come in and out, and it's a flow. Grow with the flow, is one of my art pieces says.
Oh, I like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, but I think
So
seasons.
true. Even just reflecting on the changing seasons, I think you're right about just like having that context reminds us to go with what's happening right now, and then also really picking up what it is that we're supposed to be getting in that season in order to move on to the next, right? I feel like it
Yeah,
holds
the tools.
it like it's able to hold the next season if we can really just be in that. And man, is it hard? Even
Because
just the last conversations we were having. Go ahead.
yeah. Oh, I was
Yeah.
just gonna say, because when we can learn the lessons of our season, when we can master those things, then we can finally like bring cycles, I feel like, to completions. Then we can like, close chapters out, close cycles out. And because sometimes cycles, I feel like, are just like bodies of energy that require like specific lessons to be learned, specific
Yeah.
things to be faced, so that you can go to your next level, so you can rise to your new occasion. And I think that, yeah, I love looking at it in terms of season. It reminds me of that Corinne Bailey Rae song, because I think also in looking at it through the lens of seasons, it adds a aspect of romance to it. It adds like a dreaminess to just like the process and the cycle that is life, or the process and the cycle that is like the entrepreneurship path. Because it
Especially
can be
that.
dreamy.
Yeah. Especially that, like you said, like we're planting, right? There's a season that you're planting. There's a season that you're harvesting. There's a season that you're just like watering and waiting, right? Like
Right.
patience. And then there's a season that, yeah, you're being able to harvest and really like see your harvest and see everything that has arise from what you have been planting and seeding this whole time. So, whew, yeah, not
Yeah,
easy, but it does really
yeah, because
start
I feel
changing.
like,
And you know what? Really quick before you say
go ahead,
that,
go ahead.
uh, Roy, if he ever listens to this, he used to tell me something that used to really help me too. It's like kind of like when you plant that seed, right? And then like you just trust that that plant is starting to grow,
Yes,
like you're
you said
starting
this
to water it
before.
and so on.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think I did. And then also, it's like, what are you going to do? Do you like, are you so worried about it not being there that you're going to dig it up and check if it's there? And then, like, the thing is, like, if you dig it up, what do you think will happen? You have to like start over,
Mhm.
right? Because,
Just
like,
like worrying unravels prayer.
yeah, just like that's just like the worry. That's just the thing. It's like, oh wow, how can I just like trust that this is happening? This is going for me, and keep on doing what you're doing. Keep on watering
Yeah,
so
that
you can grow.
reminds me, I know I'm such a quote person,
Mhm.
but it reminds me of another quote that is, they thought they buried us, they didn't know we were seeds, because some
Oh,
seasons,
that's dope.
like
Oh yeah, I got chills. Yeah.
yeah, I did. I actually a painting of mine that sold like right away, right when I like put it up, and sometimes I feel like they take a while when I put them up in the Oakstop Gallery, but right when I did that one, and then the main working space, it sold, and it's like a co-working space slash gallery, so like people be there like working in the, maybe I want to buy that piece, but
Cool.
so they bought that piece, and but it was also like a reflection of what I'd been doing in my own life, right? Like, there had been years in my life where it seems like complete stillness and absolutely nothing is happening. And I'm like, oh my God, can't something just fucking happen? But like
Mhm.
in those seasons, that's when I'm planting. That's when I'm planting my seeds. Like way back 12 years ago when the seed was like planted for even this like podcast that we didn't even know what platform we would use or how it would be. But like you plant the seeds and you don't necessarily know like, what the end flower is going to like look like, but you know that you planted that seed and you got to trust that you planted it and where you planted it and that it's there, and then you keep walking along your garden and tending to the other things and moving and growing with the flow. And I think that like I've oh my God, like I've had seasons of complete like, depression or heartache, and where I think that nothing is ever going to grow again, where I think my life is over, I'm never going to find a love again.
Yeah.
And each season though, it's just like once I heal, once I face it, once I face the pain, once I write it out and journal it out and meditate it out and whatever it is, tap it out, EFT, tap it out.
Mhm.
Then then another season comes, then more love comes in, and sometimes there's seasons that are just like so overwhelming and have so many people and so much happening that it's like I even need to catch my breath. So it's like we need these seasons of like tons of people. We need these seasons of solitude. Your elevation often requires isolation, and it's like we have to be in love in all of those seasons, falling in love with every season. That's what I say a lot of the time, even when I'm just literally talking about seasons. Like I love every season. I really do. I romance every season. I'm literally wearing snowman,
Oh my god, that's so cute.
snowman slippers
It's
right
so
now.
like well, it was a little bit warmer in LA, so it's so funny because like you're like all cozy and I'm like so
Yeah, it's like
yeah,
a
but actually I am
tropical
getting cold now.
tropical summer, palm tree summers, which
Oh,
I love
that's so
too.
cute. Palm tree summers, I know. But actually that's so
Or
cute.
palm tree Christmases, that's what I meant. Sorry.
That's so cute, and it really is in line with how we started this conversation, or even getting back on the podcast, with bringing play and romance. And it's so funny, like how can we bring play and romance into every
Into the
season?
mundane.
Yes, because it's so cute, the fuzzy slippers, and like um I was saying, just right down the street, there's like so much lights, and like if I'm stuck at home, and so I was just told a myth last night. I was like, hey, you know what? We can just walk over to Culver City. It's like so bright and so many lights. Like we can just have a night walk.
Oh, and
Why
I love it. It's my favorite holiday place ever.
not? Yeah. Oh
Culver.
my gosh.
Culver's
Yeah.
my fave. And then there's the ice rink. And
Yeah.
then and then like turn on Ariana Grande's Christmas album, turn on
Yeah. I
Mariah's
watched a little
Christmas.
Netflix Christmas movie this past
Yeah.
weekend. It was called The Love Hard.
I
It
watched
was
Emily Stone because I like that. But on the Stuck blog, stuckdesigns.org/blog, we put a list of 17 Christmas movies, including their links, um,
oh,
to up-level your vibe and elevation this season. So if you
yeah.
guys want to check that out, do, because yeah, turn on a Christmas movie when you're working. Turn on that Netflix, just like that the fireplace ambiance thing. Turn it on
Ooh,
your screen
yes.
if you don't have a fireplace. Just set the mood. Buy some Christmas cookies. Like, what, no matter what season it is, like no matter if it's summer and you're buying like a bouquet of sunflowers and
Mhm.
lemonade to, like, elevate the magic of your workspace, whatever it is, like I made this cute little thing the other week
Ooh,
to
yeah, that is
romanticize my
cute.
workspace, which is like, some a little vase that's like watermelon theme, and I added some flowers, and I literally put flowers all over my space.
Your
You can't see right
candle,
now, but
yeah.
there's flowers literally all around me. But yeah, buy yourself a bouquet of flowers. Like, decorate your workspace to make it feel fun, to make it feel light, airy, free, and like remind yourself of the magic that you actually are. Because, whether you are a man or you're a woman, we all have this divine feminine magic within us. So,
And I
yeah.
think it's perfect because we both have the masculine and feminine energy, and we need both, right? We
Mhm.
need both. And yeah, leaning into what makes us feel the most alive, and those little things can make a difference from
Just literally like a little thing like this
yep.
on your desk.
Even
You
if
think
it's at
that
a
it's just
candle. A
stupid or
candle
like
makes such a
silly, but
difference.
yeah, it's just like just little things like to help remind you like of this heart crystal, like just to remind you, just of your flow. And then, also crystals elevate vibration of space. But, there's so many ways to romanticize the life, your business life, your entrepreneurship life. And there are so many different perspectives and ways to look at the world, to look at each person's different individual season. But there are also so many ways to see similarities and to resonate with each and every person, because we are all really connected, and there's really no difference between, you and the next person. And when we really can realize that, especially in seasons that do have a lot of collective heaviness, we can bring, I think, that lightness by realizing, like, hey, yeah, I may be in different season, but like I'm also totally, completely, absolutely like this person in every way, because I am also human and they are human, and the light within me recognizes the light within them, and so on
Beautiful.
and so forth. But I think that we, it's just there's so much heaviness going on in the world that like lightness is needed, and for us to really push in the way that we want and to love what we do, we have to keep adding that romance and that lightness and that joy and that fun and that airiness to our life. And I'm on a roll because it's a Gemini moon. I'm
Season,
all
yeah,
like airy, airy and
I
light
love
and
it. Well, yeah, I guess that was really great. Like to complete, just really, notice the season you're in. That's kind of like what we want to wrap up with. And how can you romanticize, bring play, bring excitement into the season, no matter what it is. And yeah, giving yourself some grace that you know what, this may be the season I am in right now, but it's not going to be here forever. Like, how can I feel this to the fullest?
what
How
seeds
can
can
I
I plant?
experience this to the fullest? Yeah. What does art look like at this season? What does your voice look like at this season? What does your tears like? What is it like? Water
Because
at
it's
this season?
exciting, because like this season my art looks completely different in this season because I'm
Yeah.
different in this season,
Yeah.
like. And so
Yeah.
whatever you're creating in your new season,
Yeah.
is going to it's going to reflect your new elevation, it's going to reflect your new alignment. So I think that, me and Stacy are definitely stepping into a new season, but like we're in different seasons of our lives still,
Yep.
like it just
Yep.
it's all connected, even if we're individuals.
Yep.
So
Exactly.
love yourself hard, romanticize the F out of your life, romanticize your life,
Yeah.
romanticize everything that you can think of. Add, and remember to ask yourself, Like, where am I taking things too seriously? If you're thinking about your business and your work and your tasks, your to-do list, like, where am I taking this too seriously? And then when you think about that thing that you're taking too seriously, ask yourself, like, how can I add more fun, more lightness, more romance to this thing?
Yeah.
And I think that it'll help guide our flow for this next couple weeks until we're back again talking to you, beautiful souls.
Yes. 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 Love it.
All right. Also, we're gonna start having some new things happen. We really want to do these monthly calls with you guys, so we're gonna start implementing some more details about that soon. Just more ways to start activating the seeds that we have planted, and like how we want to start growing with you guys more and engaging with you more. We're also thinking about engaging within Twitter Spaces. So follow us on Twitter, even though Stacey doesn't go on like hardly ever. So yeah.
Oh,
So anyway, have a great Friday. Have a great week. Do you? You are limitless. You are powerful. You are full of potential. Even when doubt in your mind is telling you you can't, you can be light and free and airy and fun. Even when media is telling you, you know, we're in the middle of a recession. God is never in recession. You are absolutely capable and able of doing anything that you put your mind and heart and soul to. And we want you guys to know that and remember that every week. And that's why we keep coming here and showing up, because for ourselves and for you. So yeah, I think that's it.
Yes. All right. Well, that is it. Feel free to log on to
Org.org.
Oh, sorry. stuckdesigns.org. And for me, it's exalther.com. That's EXALTHER.com. And find out more about us and our services. Yeah. But for sure, you know, like we love to connect with other female entrepreneurs. Like she mentioned, we're going to have other groups and opportunities for connecting live and virtually, especially coming up this next season. So looking forward to connecting more, and we'll see you. Enjoy your holiday, and we'll see you before the year's out.
Yes. Love you guys so much. Bye.
Also, check out our companies to support your ascension and to give back to underserved girls through art and self-love.
You can check out more on me, Brett, and my art, coloring books, and self-love affirmation cards that will support you on your own art and self-love journey, relieve stress while giving underserved girls of color the gift of art. Follow at Stuck Designs, that's STUK, on Instagram, or visit stuckdesigns.org.
And you can check out more about me, Stacey, at exalther.com. There you can find out more about my book, Exalt Her, 12 Ways to Unleash Your Unstoppable Beauty. It's about being more of who you are from the inside to out and sharing more of your gifts with the world. I host workshops and coach one-to-one around aligning with yourself, your life force, and your legacy. You can also find out more and follow us on Instagram at exaltedwoman.com.
Happy Friday and have a great week.